Hey, what's up, everybody? Steven here, the Horror Freak 85. Boom should be here momentarily, as well as tonight's guest. We're going to have Casey Hartnett from Terrifier. So, just a couple minutes or so, Boom will be here, and we'll go ahead and start. I figured I'd go ahead and get it going so we can get some people in here and start tonight's show so people start showing up. So, and actually, let's see. We do have Casey already. So, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Boom should probably be here in a minute or two. I don't know what's up. I sent her the link. So,
Yeah, no
but I figured I'd go ahead and get going. At least get people to click the live link and stuff. So we can kill some time. How was your week?
it was good. Yeah, glad we're here. Glad it's the weekend. But it was, just worked a bit. So, how
Yeah,
about you? How was your week?
just been working overtime while I can during the holidays. So
Yes.
because
Yeah,
after that, they're not gonna have it that much.
absolutely.
So it's like earn that extra money while I can.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so just been putting up movies. Work in electronics department, so
Mm,
so many movies had to be sent back. It was like, oh my gosh.
really?
So it's fun though. I mean, I've done electronics for 6 years, so
Oh,
it's
cool.
all good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love
So
that.
and then I've been catching up on some shows.
Yeah,
Pretty much just I watched Survivor, The Good Doctor, all the weekly
nice.
shows.
Those are good shows.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I've been watching White Lotus. So,
White Lotus. I haven't heard. I don't think I heard of
yeah,
that one.
it's on HBO Max. And it's with like Jennifer Coolidge and Jake Lacey. But it's
Ooh, that
good.
makes me want a hot dog real bad.
And Sydney Sweeney and Connie Britton are both in it as well. And
Okay.
it's really good. It's interesting. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
So, what else has been going on? Not too much. Just been chilling, rewatching Terrifier again a couple times. Got to enjoy the gore there. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know. It's great that it's streaming now and streaming in so many places. So that's exciting.
Yeah, Screambox and yeah, it was what was it, $250,000 budget, made about
Mhm.
$10 million. So I mean, gosh,
Yeah, it's
insane.
wild. Yeah, unexpected.
Yeah, it's like, well, congratulations for being in one of like the top horror movies of the year, in my opinion. So,
Thank you. Yeah.
here we go. Boom's in the room.
Yes.
Hello, I think so. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
so just wait for a few more people to come on in. Hey, Boom, how's it going?
Going all right. Sorry, the snow held us up. It started getting heavy as soon as we went to the store. Gosh darn it. Sorry, my dog barks every time the Alexa goes off. I tried to turn it down.
Alexa, where's Rogue? Oh,
She's figured out when the Alexa goes off
oh,
and
now
it
my
says
Alexa's
that
going off.
it
I should have said the A
is
word.
because it's connected to a ring, so it'll say there's motion at the door. She's
Yeah.
figured out that means that there's something in front of the house, so she barks every time it goes off.
Alexa, set volume level 1.
Oh my God.
I can't say the A word because mine will go off.
I'm not ready for snow. I'm not ready for it.
Are you somewhere that gets a lot?
I'm in Chicago, so
Oh, gotcha. I'm not far from you then.
oh, are you? Yeah, it started snowing earlier, like very lightly. I just noticed some little tiny specks in the air, and I was like, no, stop. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in southern end of Wisconsin, so I'm like an
Mm,
hour north of you,
okay.
give or take.
Yeah. Makes sense that it's snowing. Yeah.
It's like I just got
Well,
to worry about the hurricanes. There was another tropical storm the other day.
was
What was
there?
it, Nicole or whatever? Yeah, so it's like it was just hitting Florida. It's like, come on, stop one after the other. It's like we don't need no war, but can't help it there. So
Yeah. Let's stop all this crazy weather.
I'm originally from Illinois, though, but I come from a little
Oh,
bit more farther south than
okay.
Chicago.
Nice. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah. Um, good stuff.
so you grew up in Chicago, or
Good. Yeah.
okay?
I was born in the city and then technically grew up in a suburb and then moved back. My family moved back to the city.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, growing up, since we're sort of speaking of it, what kind of movies were you into, and what inspired you to get into acting? Did you always want to do that, or did you have another career path in mind?
Um, I always wanted to be an actor. I mean, of course, hello, Kale. Of course, every like other career paths options came to mind. Of course, when you're a kid, you're like, I was like, maybe I could be a teacher or a lawyer. But both of those things are being up in front of people and presenting things, and that was the part about it that I liked. And yeah, so when I was 5, I fell in love with my first film, which was Harriet the Spy. And yeah, and I loved that movie, was obsessed with it, watched it over and over again. And then I even would dress up like Harriet M. Welsh and walk around, have a little notebook, and pretend to spy on my neighbors. And that was the first like biggest influence of a film. And then I was also very influenced by The Parent Trap and like wrote a whole script based on The Parent Trap and like made my friends perform it. So like those were the types of movies, of course, as a child I was into. But I also in middle school, I always loved horror films also. And in middle school, I watched The Grudge for the first time by myself. I was like this 11-year-old kid, like sitting in front of the TV watching The Grudge, just like I was crazy. I was like trying to scare myself or something. I'm not really sure. I was like, let this movie scare me. So that was honestly, I think, the moment when I fell in love with the thrill of horror films and being scared. Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. Who was your favorite horror icon? Kel wants to know.
Favorite horror icon? I mean, that really is a great question. I really loved the Scream movies growing up.
Nice.
So maybe Ghostface. I feel like Ghostface is just the one I'm most familiar with, just because I loved those movies when I was growing up. Yeah, I guess I'll have to say that.
Yeah, Scream's definitely one of my favorites too. Gotta love that.
Yeah.
Did you watch the TV show? What did you think of that?
I did. And I actually had worked with one of the actresses who was on the 3rd season, like the newer one that they did like years later.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was, and I think she was the one who played Ghostface too. But I actually really liked those shows. I liked how they made them into a series. It was fun. Yeah, I liked how they were able to drag out the storyline a bit more.
I wonder, what do you think? This actually just came up in my mind. What do you think if they would do like a Terrifier spinoff? That'd be kind of interesting.
A Terrifier series would be cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think watching Art the Clown chase after people for a whole series. I mean, imagine making even like the span of Sienna and Art's little cat and mouse adventure. And it could play on for several episodes. I mean, the movie was already almost 2.5 hours long.
It didn't even seem that long. It just flew by. I mean, it was.
Yeah, I mean that's like that's a couple episodes. That's more than 2 episodes.
Right.
Exactly. And depending if it's a 40 or 30 minutes or an hour, depending on what you decide to cut it off at. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
What is it that you think that like lately in society, people in the horror genre, what attracts them, do you think, in your opinion, to like clowns, like to make them more sinister and dark towards that purpose instead of for enjoyment? I mean, we still enjoy it, but you know what I mean, like happy enjoyment, like they twist it around.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, and I think there's this thing about, clowns being scary, but it's like a tease. It's like, oh, but they're supposed to be this fun, joyful thing that's entertaining to us, but it's like this manipulated like terror almost that you get in these like scary clown characters. So I think that there's also just an escapism in horror in general, and I think having a clown character that is so, not unlike anyone we interact with on our daily lives is just so much more jarring, and it's like, oh my god, it's terrifying in that way because it's something unfamiliar to our daily lives, but it's also familiar like from a distance. Clowns
Right.
are.
Plus, there's also a phobia.
There's such a phobia of clowns.
Right.
Yes,
Gacy didn't help matters. Speaking of Chicago.
Bozo. So
Those are the clowns.
Yeah, Bozo, too.
I heard they're supposed to do a Bozo movie or something.
Are they?
I don't know if that's
I
true or
heard
not,
that.
but I thought I heard something. I don't know if it's supposed to be like based on him or if it's actually a horror, but I heard something there was like a Bozo.
That'd be interesting. Maybe based on the actor even would be cool.
So,
but,
I mean, either way, it'd be interesting.
yeah, it would be. Just do a whole like movie about people playing Bozo buckets too.
Mhm.
That'd be fun. I'm just kidding.
I always wanted to play that game, like just see how far I could get. Like when I was a kid, that'd be fun. Yeah.
I know. But also, I think that might be my dad remembers like growing up watching Bozo, and I even watched some Bozo stuff when I was a kid. And I'm not scared of clowns, but I have friends who are terrified of clowns, and that's part of the reason why they're scared to watch Terrifier. And I don't know where this fear comes from. I don't know if it's being a young kid and having this giant thing that doesn't look like you, like so far different from any human you've ever met because of like the color of your face or whatever, or just like the color of the colors, all the colors, like wearing that red hair, rainbow hair, whatever they wear. And I'm like, I don't know, is that why kids are scared of clowns? Or like, because I have never been scared of clowns, so I don't know why. I don't know where it comes from.
I don't know, maybe the same thing as like, some kids are scared of like the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Like big, burly. Like I was scared of. I was intimidated by Minnie Mouse. Like I'm not still scared of Minnie. Like at a theme park, right?
Right.
The characters were huge in their costumes, so when you're like 3 years old, it's like you're ginormous. Hello.
Yeah.
But I mean, now I'm not scared of Minnie Mouse. I can go to a park and not be scared.
It ain't near as bad as the fear I had when I was little. I was like obsessed with E.T. and I had this little E.T. I forget how old I was. I wasn't like super old, but I had this little ET and it was wind up. And I was fine with it if it wasn't moving, but if it got wound up, I was scared to death of the thing.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty much better. It was only like that big, so
but it would just move on its own.
right. And I knew I had the wind up thing, but I don't know. I was probably like 4 or 5. I don't remember how old I was when ET came out. I know it wasn't very old.
Yeah. It's such a good movie, though.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just have comments from the peanut gallery back there.
Oh, are we?
On my ET fear.
What kind of phobia would they call that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had a thing about robots when I was little. I was scared to death of like anything that was moving, like not really electric cars, but just like any kind of moving robots, because they also had, obviously the electric cars with controllers, but they had like little robots and stuff when I was little, and I was scared to death of those things. I don't know why. I'm not now, but I used to be.
Yeah, I mean, even like Furbies and stuff, those were creepy.
Well, sometimes they would like, have you heard, I mean, I've heard stories about them, how they'd suddenly just start talking and saying weird stuff. And
oh my God, yeah. My Furby, I kept it in my closet because it would just start speaking.
like out of nowhere, you wouldn't say anything to it. And it's like,
no, I'd just be like in my room alone. And then all of a sudden Furby would be like, hello. And I'm like, what?
Actually, I don't know what happened to it. Like, I was thinking of writing a story about Furbies when I was younger and call it like Fury of the Furbies and how like they're evil and stuff.
It'd be like better than Gremlins.
Yeah,
it would.
I'm surprised nobody's done that yet. For the people who make Furby probably hasn't signed off on it yet, but.
Well, I mean, who knows if it's still in like public domain or whatever, or if you have the rights, because I mean, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, Winnie the Pooh's been so long, so they can take it, whatever.
Winnie the Pooh's my favorite Disney character. I haven't seen that movie though.
It's not out yet. It's going to be out in February, I think.
Okay. Yeah. I was like,
Not yet,
don't
no.
know how new it is. Yeah, exactly. Okay, that makes more sense.
But the trailer's out for it, though. It looks interesting. And Christopher Robin, he's like, I wouldn't have left you. I'm sorry. They like go all feral.
Oh my gosh, I'm curious about it because yeah, he is my favorite Disney character, and I'm like, evil.
Yeah, they're doing Peter Pan
And
next.
then they want to do Peter Pan, so it's like
Peter Pan would be interesting. That would be interesting.
So I don't know, like it's like, well, instead of the Lost Boys, it's like, well, he is the villain. He kidnapped the kids, and who knows? Like they could probably twist the story around.
Oh, they totally could.
And then they're supposed to. I heard that David's supposed to be the Grinch in the mean one. So
in December, that'll be
yeah
available to watch. Yeah.
So that should be interesting to actually hear him in a speaking role. So,
it'll be great. Yeah, I'm excited. I actually played the Grinch in middle school in like a choir in a choir show. They were like, yeah, why don't you be the Grinch? We like sang a mean one, and I was the Grinch going around during the song. And I like wore a mask and was like walking through the crowd and like messing with people.
right.
And I scared a child. I did. His chair had been in the center of the aisle because he was so small. So like he wanted to be able to see everyone. So he moved his chair out. And when I was walking around, I like went up to him and like very quietly like tapped his head and was like, and he was sitting there like, and I was just like, oh shit, I just scared a child. Oh my God.
Now he has sousophobia.
So he's probably scared of the Grinch. Yeah, he's probably scared of those characters. Like afterwards, they were like, you scared our kid. I was like, sorry. I'm 11. I don't know what I'm doing.
You shouldn't have brought him then. What do you think? This is a family show?
Yeah, exactly.
It's called the mean one for for a reason there.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, because I know he did the Joker too. David did, so it should be interesting to see his spin on the Grinch there. But it must have been fun working with him there because I mean he's such a funny guy, but then he has to get into that silent, creepy mode. So like, how was he working with him?
It was. I mean, honestly, it was really great working with him. Also because he's not. I have to say he's not a method actor. I don't think anyone who worked on the film is a method actor.
For that one, let's hope not.
Right, exactly. So that's why I was just like, I wasn't sure though, like how it was going to be working with him because I wasn't sure if they were going to be like, okay, we don't want you to meet him until he's in character, so you're really scared of him. But it wasn't like that. It was like David reached out to me after I booked it. After Damien offered me the role, he reached out to me to congratulate me and welcome me to the Terrifier fam. And then on our first day working together, when we filmed the trick-or-treating scene, I showed up and he was there and he was, getting into makeup and stuff and just like joking around. And so it was a very fun, relaxed relaxed for the most part, unless the day was stressful. No, but very fun and like relaxed atmosphere really. And he's just so kind and so fun and very funny. Great sense of humor.
We were laughing the whole time he was on. I don't think there was a moment
about
that
9
we
months
weren't
ago.
laughing at him.
Yeah. So he's great, and so it's like working with him when he would be Art. Of course, it's like he himself. I wasn't necessarily scared. I wasn't necessarily scared of him because he'd be walking around too with Q-tips up his nose, so that he wouldn't like have to blow his nose in makeup and ruin the makeup that he was wearing. So, thank you, Cal. And so he would be walking around set as Art the Clown, just like with Q-tips hanging out of his nose, and then he'd go into the scene and take them out. And I'm just like, I can't. I'm like, it just makes when you know the person and you know that like they're not actually going to hurt you, it just you dive into the scene and like do the whole emotional life of it, but you're safe, and that and what makes it that great about feeling safe doing that is that you can go to these really dark emotional places and know that it's not like, in the back of your mind, it's not real, it's all acting, but you are safe enough to go to these dark places because you know that on the other side, like when you come out of it, it's all going to be fine. And so you give yourself that license to go there. And, it would be really hard to do that in an environment where you didn't feel safe and taken care of as an artist. So, yeah.
How is that for you, getting into that point, that being that terrified and that emotional? I'm sure it puts a little bit of a strain on you. Like, how do you prepare for that?
Yeah. When I do my emotional prep for a scene, it's it's working in a way of getting to that emotion that is required for the scene. And you have to, I use imaginary circumstances. I don't like to use real things from my past, but I usually use like a kernel of truth, which is like a real person in my life, and maybe like something bad happened or whatever. So like whatever it is, or something funny happened, whatever emotion you're going for, I sort of put my mind into these imaginary it's almost like you're tricking your mind. You're tricking your mind into believing things are real, and then getting to that emotional state, and then kind of jumping into the scene and just trusting that you've done that emotional work for yourself. But the thing is that I'm the type of person where I can go in and out of it. So that to me is how I stay safe with my emotions during filming. So that's kind of, does that make sense? That's yeah. So that's sort of how I go about it. It's hard to explain processes sometimes, but yeah, that's generally.
Basically, you put yourself in a imaginary scenario, but you relate it to real life with like somebody that you actually know, but the situation didn't actually happen. That's what I took from it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like one method or one like technique that you can use, and that's one thing that I usually go with. Yeah. Yeah. Am I related to Josh? That's a good question. I have a theory, but I technically don't think I am. But I have a theory that I could be. Because our fathers both have the same name. I'm just kidding. Our fathers are not the same people, but they do have the same first name, which I find funny. But and he's also from the Midwest. So
really?
I think he's from like Minneapolis.
Oh, okay.
So, and we have family in Minneapolis. So I'm like, you know what?
Might be a distant cousin.
There might be a distant here. Who knows?
He just might show up at next Hartnett family reunion. Yes, I am related.
I have a theory that I don't know for a fact. Well, there's a theory on both sides of the family. There's one that we're distantly related to Willie Nelson on my dad's side. Ooh. My grandma used to say it all the time, but I don't know because we don't have any Nelsons that, like my grandma's last name's not Nelson. So it's like really far down if there is. But she used to always say was related to Nelson. My other theory, which I think I'm the only one in the family has it, is I think we might be related to Jim Morrison.
Oh.
On my mom's side, because their last name is Morrison. And he looks a lot like my uncle, like the face stuff and the real dark eyes. And so I don't know. I guess it means if his last name is actually Morrison or if that's just like a stage name or something. Because I don't know.
Yeah. But who knows? That's interesting though. Like when people look alike, like that's the thing is that my Hartnett side, like I don't look that different from Josh Hartnett. Like we both have like similar hair color, and I'm like, I don't know. Who knows? It's possible.
Yeah. Like I said, it's probably like distant cousins or something.
Yeah,
Maybe. You never know.
yeah. I don't meet a lot of Hartnetts either.
Yeah. And from the family in the same area, that's kind of, I wonder.
I have a
Never
theory.
know.
Yeah, it's a theory. But when I was a kid, I was very like adamant about this theory. I would like tell people like actually I remember one time when I was in middle school, a friend of mine, her older sister loved Josh Hartnett, and she was like, "Are you related to Josh Hartnett?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she like, freaked out. She's like, "Oh my god." And me and my friend were just laughing. We're like, we got her. And so I don't know if she still thinks that, but yeah, I don't know. Like, yes.
Yeah, I've never really said anything about the Morrison thing, but I've always said about the Willie Nelson that it's a theory. It's like a family rumor that's, long as I can remember, that I'm distantly related to Willie Nelson. It may or may not be true. I don't know. But, Grandma's not around to really track it. We did track down some Nelsons. We did get an ancestry thing, and I did find there is Nelsons in my family tree on that side, if they're actually related to Willie. I remember there was another family that was on TV with the Nelsons, and I can't remember their name off the top of my head. I remember her mentioning them as well.
Okay, interesting.
So I don't know. But there is Nelsons on that side of the family. So she's at least part right if it's not famous.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Absolutely.
I don't remember.
Go ahead, Boom. Whatever you want to ask, since I've asked a few things there, let's switch it over to you some.
You have several different stages of makeup, but how long did each stage?
Yeah, for the kill scene. Yeah, so we've filmed that scene over a period of 5 days in total, and then we actually had filmed one day before the pandemic, and Damien just changed how the beginning of that scene, how we wanted the beginning of the scene to go, so we just refilmed from scratch. Well, but we refilmed from the chase into the room, of course, and it took 5 days, and it was just like sitting. So the thing is that Damien was doing most of it, and he had, we had our makeup artist there as well helping with, because David had to get into makeup, and I had to get into, thanks Doomsday, and I had to get into prosthetics every day. So we were both in heavy makeup every day. So the setup took a while, but the first day was, we filmed up until the eye slash, and then we went back and he put the eye slash on my face, and then he's not a mime. He doesn't like that. Sorry. And then, so it was basically like 5 days of getting in and out of prosthetics. And then by the end, just adding them, it was just everywhere, obviously. And then the arm, like that was also a prosthetic where I had like my actual arm behind my back and had this like fake arm off my shoulder. And the scalping was happening. Like I think that was also the first day. It was the eye slash and the scalping. And he was really cutting a prosthetic and tearing it off. So it looked so good. It was like he had like just this random prosthetic with hair that looked like mine and just ripped it right off. And it was the scalp. So it was pretty wild, but then it also took quite a bit of time to get everything off. And so it would be like I'd just be sitting in the kitchen by the end of every day. Like by the end of day 5, I was like sitting in the kitchen with prosthetics all over my body, my back, my head, my face, my arms, my legs, and just like everywhere, and just have just 5 people around me, and we were all just scraping off prosthetics so that it would go as fast as possible and we could all sleep. But yeah, it was fun. It was cool. It was a really cool process, and it was cool to see that process too, because I had never done anything like that before. Super cool.
How's it feel that pretty much your scene is the scene that caused people to like pass out or leave the theater or get sick or like?
I laugh now, but I felt really bad when I first found that out. I was like, oh my gosh, oh no. It made me really uncomfortable. I was like, oh no, I hope people are okay. And Damien and I were like, we were like, Damien, like they were like, you know, this is like the greatest compliment ever. But also, Damien and I were both like, I really hope everyone's okay. That's what it really comes down to is like, we don't want people getting hurt or really getting sick during that. Like the people who were fainting, I really hope that they weren't, you know, they didn't get hurt. Nice. Top 5. Hopefully it becomes top 3 eventually, but no, but
with, I guess.
Well, once he gets the Blu-ray, well, actually, though, to let people know, you can pre-order copies on Best Buy and I think some other WalMarts. And
yeah.
I got mine in all its 4K gloriness, or in this case, 4K goriness.
Yes. Yes, love that. Love that. I know. I don't know, but yeah, it was. What was I saying? It was. What was I just saying? I can't even remember.
Oh, about people being okay. And
oh yeah, the people in the theater. It was. Yeah, I felt bad at first, but now I'm just like, you know what? Like people are. They're fine. But also, I think that's also just a warning. Whenever I had a friend who was like, "Oh, I'm going to go watch the movie," I would just warn them and like, look.
Right.
Just so you know, if you do get queasy when you see blood, just prepare.
Well, I mean, the movie straight from the beginning, there's kill after kill. And, I mean, I think your kill tops them all, in my opinion.
It was pretty brutal, but they're all so good in this movie, of course. Well, in both movies, they're all so good. But yeah, I mean, that one is just the most uncomfortable. I think I was uncomfortable during the first kill. During the very first one in the film with the coroner.
The coroner, yeah.
Made me super uncomfortable. And then my scene it's also weird because you're watching yourself, but it did make me very uncomfortable.
I think like Art has a thing for eyes because like he always goes for people's eyes. Like
and eyes gross me out. And also it's really funny because Damien like a fear, like I would hate to be slashed in the eye. Well, anyone would, obviously, but I just mean if that had been like an eye slash and then she had gotten away, I'd be like, come on, man, slash my back next time. Like, not my face.
I need my eye.
Exactly. But the fact that was the first one is like, oh, and then she has to look at it in the mirror. Oh, horrible.
Yeah, I don't know if you've watched any like YouTube reactions of people watching. They're like, oh, what the fuck? Like, how they show this in a movie theater?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's great. When I found out they submitted it to the Oscars,
so funny. But I will say the makeup deserves it. Like,
yes, definitely.
Like the makeup is, if they were to get nominated for stuff, for an Oscar, that would be like, you know, they're very selective. Obviously, it's the biggest award.
Yeah.
But the makeup in there is so good.
Right. I totally agree. I just think it's hilarious that they have to watch it.
No, that is the best part, is that the Academy is watching Terrifier 2. Like, right. I wonder how far they get.
Right.
I wonder how far they all get.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. It definitely deserves the category, you know, that. And
well, if it won or was nominated for the first time, that'd be amazing. Like, just like
it really would. And horror has never. It's not that horror never gets nominated.
Right.
It just doesn't win as often. It doesn't get nominated as often.
If it does, it's usually one of those artsy movies that nobody really
likes. Yeah, it's most likely a little. But I would call this. I don't know. I'm like, does this qualify as an art house horror film? I don't even know.
Art does like to play with his blood.
It's not me.
Not the standard what normal art house is. It would be his art.
I was kidding.
I know. But
I mean, like, not. I mean, I don't know. I'm like, it could. I'm like, maybe it could qualify. I don't know, but it's quite in its own category.
Oh, that's funny.
What do I define as torture porn? I don't know. That's quite a category. I hope not.
That might be the category. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't full length films. I don't see that. I don't in the same category. I don't really know though. Like unless it's like supposed to have that reaction, but this was not supposed to have that reaction. Maybe for some people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You also had a fight scene with art. I'm assuming there's trying to think. I know the word is choreography.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, it just like got stuck for a minute. But how long did it take to kind of work through your choreography?
Yeah, it was. We kind of we mapped that out because I had to. Obviously, I took this shelving unit and I like knocked it down to try to block him, I suppose. Actually, okay, I do remember this now. So we kind of had it mapped out and we were like playing around like, okay, I'll knock this down and then I'll open the window and then blah, blah, blah. And then he'll like drag me. But we did the cabinet thing before COVID. And then we did him dragging me from the window after COVID. But we basically knew that was going to happen and that I was going to pull the curtains down with it. So that was actually kind of fun. I was like, pulling the curtains down, being thrown on a bed. I was like, all right, sure, that's fine. But actually, I remember when I knocked the shelving unit down because there was so much stuff on it. We did it twice, and luckily the first time certain things didn't break. And then we did it one more time and stuff broke, which was fine because I think we got the take. But but there was a take of David. Of art he like kind of steps on it and like bounces over to get to Allie, and in one of the takes his foot just went clear through the shelving unit and he was like, well, a giant shoe is stuck in the bookshelf, which actually would have been kind of funny, but he's supposed to be more powerful than that, so but yeah, so then he just like kind of hopped over and it didn't. I feel like that Damien had it pretty mapped out, so it didn't take. He had it like that. He had that whole idea. So it took us like just a couple like times like rehearsing the pacing and the rhythm of it, and then just kind of. But then of course it was. We went through it motion by motion during the actual kill. So it was like being thrown on the bed, and then we had to add the prosthetic, do the eye slash, and then we went through the next motion of crawling to the desk where she's doing her makeup, where she had been doing her makeup.
Oh wait, let's pause this kill. I gotta put some blush on. I'm kidding.
Eye makeup for the other eye. She's like, no,
I gotta look good.
That would be funny if it was a horror comedy.
I'm supposed to go to a party right now. You just ruined my makeup.
Like instead of scary movie, like, ooh, killer. Oh, my leg is broken.
That would actually be a really
wait. I gotta take a selfie.
Oh my god, I have to show all my friends this. What just happened to me? This is insane. No, but that would be funny. But so we kind of choreographed all the movements like moment by moment, just to like map it out that way and to not do too much at once. Like so we basically had like Damien had the idea and the sense for where the scene was going. And yeah, we kind of just did each section one at a time. And then when I'm crawling, I remember that was kind of a time lapse, like in between when I'm on the bed and he had slashed me, and then when I'm on the floor crawling after that with my arm torn off. And so then we did that, and I just remember it was freezing. First of all, it's freezing in there, and I remember I'm like kneeling in front of a heater before they had to turn the heater off because of the sound, and I'm kneeling in front of a heater as Damien is like, okay, so for this part you're like totally zombied out now and you're crawling on the floor, and you have to crawl like in a certain way because of like certain like injuries, of course, so you have to be like mindful of that. And Damien Because he's like, you're completely zombied out, and he's on the floor like a worm, and he's like. I was like, can you do that one more time, please? I didn't have.
Hold on, let me get my phone out. Do that one more time.
And so he's like, okay, you're just like completely zombied out, and I was like, okay, Damien. So yeah, so then we when we were filming that part of me crawling, it was so bloody. There's so much blood there that I ended up getting stuck to the floor at one point, like stuck to the carpet in the room. And that was, and then when we filmed the salt and bleach part, we did it in 2 takes. We did the bleach in 2 takes, and the first take, I was screaming, and this is one of my favorite moments because it was so funny. I was screaming like bloody murder because of the salt, and he pours the thing, and I was looking up, and he poured the bleach directly in my mouth. And I just immediately spit it out at him and kept screaming. I was like, ah! And that was like the first take that we did. And obviously we filmed it again. But it was that part was, I don't know, that we all just laughed, like died laughing at that, because
I hope that's on the bloopers.
I hope it is too. I hope they still have that footage. I was like a little like fountain, like a little steel like fountain.
Little fish, the ones that squirt out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, like, speaking of like the fight scenes and everything being mapped out, like, sometimes in certain movies, not just Terrifier, we're always like, I would do this. This is so stupid. No, but of course that's all part of the entertainment. But if you had your own way of fighting art, what would you like to have done to try to escape the situation?
Absolutely. So Allie's situation in particular, or
sure, yeah,
or any. But I will say, as I'm watching the movie, and as I've watched it a couple times or a few times, but anytime I look at that scene now, I'm like, girl, run. I'm like, what are you doing? Run out of that house now. So I will say, when I think it's on her mind. I think art is on her mind. So if I were to see a window broken like that, and if art were on my mind from earlier, I don't really know what I would do in that scenario, but I think I would be a little shocked and be like, oh my God, how did this glass break? Like, did they throw something at it? Like, I think I would be in shock from that, but I don't know. I mean,
again, like Scary Movie, what advice would you have, Chrissy? Run, bitch, run!
Run. I think my advice would just be to run and hide somewhere. I would run. I mean, I would run outside. Cause I have thought that I'm like, okay, what would I do if this was real? I would run outside, probably like try to like bang on a neighbor's door. But again, it's awkward. This girl was in her underwear. Like, that's horrible. But at least she had a robe. But I feel like I would run outside and either hide or find a neighbor's house or something. I don't know. I'm fairly good at hiding, but of course, from Art the Clown, I don't know. I don't know if I would succeed.
And it's still a mystery. What is Art the Clown like?
Exactly.
So
it is. But yeah, I do understand where Ellie's coming from, where she's like, because I also am the type of person where I would like suss out the other person and be like, okay, should I?
Right, and she's so terrified, and he's just like casually getting a drink of water at the same time. She's just like in shock, like, what's going on right now?
Right. Well, also, when you know the person's there, you want to know where they are, and like, and it's just, one, you're in shock, and two, it's like,
do I want to turn my back on this?
Exactly. Do I want to turn my back on this? That's so true. So I don't know.
Home invasion is like one of my deepest fears, so I kind of get it.
Yeah, I've literally thought, like, what would I do if someone broke in my house? What would I do? And I do, like I said, I thought about running to the neighbors or trying to hide. I don't know. Having my phone on emergency. Oh, you met Tam Glenn. Nice.
How was it working
Um,
with her in the brief scene?
Yeah. So I actually wasn't on set with her because we filmed a lot of the Halloween store at night, and her part was filmed during the day. So we missed each other, unfortunately. I did meet Felissa, and she was amazing. She was like, because I was filming the school scenes the same day she filmed her school scene. And that was really great. That was super fun. And she was so nice and so kind. So that was exciting. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to meet Tam.
Yeah, Felissa's awesome. It's funny, like I can't think of the brother's name right now, but Elliot, who plays the brother, and like like everybody fucking hates him. Like his mom is like treating him like that. Then the principal like, well, you know, it's like, yeah, you little shit, get in there. Like
he's a misunderstood child.
It's like and I also like how when they were saying how he wants to dress up as Art the Clown, and she's like, you don't see people dressing up as Dahmer. I'm like, yes, you do.
No, unfortunately.
Right?
Unfortunately.
But,
yeah, people dress up as serial killers all the time.
Mm-hmm. It's very bizarre. But on Halloween, I had a couple. Funny enough, I was handing out Halloween candy.
And Art came to the door. Someone dressed as Art, that would be.
Well, these kids came to the door dressed as Silent Hill characters. And one kid was Pyramid Head. And I was like, nice. I was like, you're dressed up like a pyramid. He's like, yeah, Silent Hill. I was like, that's awesome.
I had this girl. She was teenager, but probably not super old. We have a lot of like older kids. Shit, I had a fucking grandmother go trick or treating.
You're an adult. No candy for you.
Okay,
well, I don't care. If you're in a costume, you come. I don't care. You get candy at my house. And it must be like that for our neighborhood because we get a lot of like older teens. Like my son, I keep telling him, go trick or treating, but he's like, no. It's like there's kids out here. There was a woman my age out there. There was a grandmother out trick or treating. It's like it's fine. Our neighborhood's cool with that apparently, which is fine. I'm not complaining. My house, you come. My house, you get candy on Halloween. But anyways, this girl, she was a teenager, and she came walking up, and I was like, Carrie, nice, because she had a blade dress and a crown and everything. She's like, nobody has got that. I was like, I watch horror movies all day. I don't know what to tell you. But yes, she was so taken back because nobody got in her costume.
You should have said, here, let me be right back. Here's some tampons. Happy Halloween. Or the pads or whatever when they threw her.
That's great. That's amazing. Yeah, I feel like if I live to be like 90 and I am like one Halloween, I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to go trick-or-treating.
What was funny was like the grandmother. I'm assuming she was a grandmother because she looked probably at least 60.
Mm-hmm.
She was having a ball, and she had like two like older teenagers with her, maybe grandkids or something. Or maybe she was just watching. Anyway, one was all right, go trick or treat. And this is like, they were so done with it. They just did not want to be there. But she was having a blast of her life.
That's cool. I love
it. Give me all your candy.
But yeah, I don't care. I'm not one of those. It's like, oh, you're too old. Which obviously I know you do in the movie, but I'm not like hitting it.
I would have probably given Art candy.
You maybe would have lived too if you gave him some candy.
I would. I'm like, I think it would have been really weird, but I would have just been like, okay,
sure,
here you go. Cheers. And then in my head, I would have said, "You're really weird."
Yeah. Which I think in the movie you did say he was weird, and he's just like,
I did. I'm like, you're really weird. Didn't say it like that. But.
To be fair, he was, because he doesn't say anything, and he's just like holding his bag out.
Yeah.
His giant trash bag.
I know.
His trash bag of tools there, his killing tools.
Yikes. Yep.
I love when he was in the shop when he had the he had the glasses on, and he's just doing a different thing. And
that was great. The costume shop was really fun because there was a lot of material in there just to for him to mess around with. So that was fun. Yeah.
Steve's mom says she's going out next year. Yeah, hell yeah.
No, you're not. I forbid it.
Fully support.
Oh no, I'm just kidding. Whatever. I'll lead the way. What can I say? I want to go. Hey, and if you're wearing like a full body costume or whatever, no one knows how old you are. Like
Exactly.
you can
Go
hide.
as like a full on mascot or something.
Exactly. It's just like, oh, that's a nice mascot.
Well, if you're thinking about it, I know we don't live in the same state, Peggy, but hey, apparently it's all good on my street.
It's all good in
Come
that.
to
Right?
Wisconsin, we don't care.
So, what were some of your favorite Halloween costumes that you've done in the past?
Yeah. So a couple years ago I did Winona Ryder's character from Heathers, but in the end of the movie after the explosion. So it was like her with like it was like a t-shirt and a school skirt, and then I had like blood and dirt all over my face. And I have fun with like the messy costumes. I like those costumes. I remember, I'm like, what have I dressed up as? I dressed up as a zombie cheerleader once because you can't just be a cheerleader. You have to be like the one who died, or like the one who fell from the top of the pyramid. Or like whatever.
I have like a fake bone coming out. I broke my neck.
I just walked around like this all night. No, but that one, I mean, I like the ones that are either like funny or like, not too like funny or clever, or actually like get into the blood.
Or maybe like in Death Becomes Her, that with Goldie Hawn and
Sure.
who else? It was Goldie Hawn and oh my gosh.
I want to say Meryl Streep. I don't
Yes.
think that's right. Is it?
No. Wait, I think so.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was Meryl Streep.
We'll
And
find
Bruce Willis was in it too. He was the husband.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah. It's a shame he's not acting anymore. But then I saw like, of course they were already filmed, but I've seen like 5 or 6 movies that came out this past year that he's done just right as he retired too. Like all these
So
movies, I'm
It
like,
was Meryl Streep. I just looked it up. Yeah,
Okay.
Meryl Streep, Goldie Hawn, Bruce Willis, Isabel Rossellini.
I think
Oh.
he was the
Ellen,
one who had the
yeah.
or that killed or kept him alive or whatever. Imagine that, painting each other's asses.
Right? Yeah, I just looked it up real quick just to make sure. 'Cause I was like, I want to say that, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Yeah, that one for sure. But yeah, and then I'm like, what else have I done? I remember when I was a kid dressing up like a military person. I don't know why, but at the time it was like fun and cool and something different from myself. Actually, I think I had another friend who was also doing it, so I was like, all right. And then, yeah, I'm trying to remember. Like, one year of my best friend and I, we dressed up as the song "Firework" from Katy Perry, and we both had like this like firework like headband, and we both wore like necklaces. Mine had a piece of paper attached and hers had a plastic bag attached. So it was like, do you ever feel like a plastic bag floating through the wind? Do you ever feel so paper thin?
Right. I was gonna say, were you the boom and she was brighter than the moon?
Yeah, so we did the paper in the plastic bag and then had fireworks. I don't know. We were trying to be funny. My mom told me she tried watching Terrifier. Oh, it's hard to watch. I actually had someone tell me today that they tried watching Terrifier with their friend and they had to turn it off because of their friend couldn't handle it.
Yeah, I was talking to my son about it because I got Screenbox so I could see it, and I was like I said, he's 17, so I'm not asking like a 10-year-old about this, but I was like, I just got Screenbox. Do you want to watch Terrifier 2? And he's like, no, I know how it ends. Like, so? I was like, do you want to watch it? And I was just asking him. I had myself muted while he was talking about Halloween costumes because I was asking if he had seen it yet. And if he had any questions. And he's like, no. And he goes, I kind of know most of it. And I was like, well, do you know the bedroom scene? And it's like, no, but I know what you're talking about. It's the one that can't be shown on YouTube. I was like, yeah. I was like, well, we're talking to the actress that was in this scene. I didn't know if you had a question. And he's like, no.
It has people have posted on YouTube and Instagram, and I think they've been trying to delete them all. Yeah, they've been like chasing them, but also it is too graphic for public TV or YouTube or anything. So they usually end up getting taken down anyway.
Right.
But people have tried.
I know they'll like show one little clip of like maybe your head like the crawling and then cut back to their reaction and like well as they're like watching like oh fuck.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It's fun watching all those reactions because I mean like I've seen so many horror movies it doesn't bother me and I just laugh at how people are like oh my god. It's like
yeah. I mean it is the scene is hard to watch.
yeah.
But you know, my dad has seen it, but my mom has not, and my dad he said that by the end of that scene, he was like, it was so gross. He's like, it's so gross, but like I had to laugh.
Yeah.
It was like by the end of it, I just was like, oh, like laughing out of pure discomfort.
Yeah, like oh.
Like, haha. You're alive.
It's like it's funny, but it's not. But it is. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, haha, this is taking forever.
Yeah, in a way, it's like, how is she still alive after all of that? Like,
That's the question everyone. That's the thing everyone comments on is like, how?
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the more traumatic parts, because she's just hanging on just enough to say it was either mom or mommy, when her mom discovers her, so her mom gets to see her all just mutilated, and Art just think that's the funniest thing in the world. And
yeah, right. And then it's also just like the worst last image to see in your lifetime.
Right.
Oh.
You're seeing this clown that's killing you, and he's just thinking it's hilarious, and you see your mom, having to witness this.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, the whole thing is just wild. But I mean, it's a crazy, like, inventive, wild ride of a scene, though. So it's like, it's fun. Like, when you think about it, it's fun. It's like so. It's fun that it went that far, but it's disgusting. But it's like to think about it, it's like that's like
it's like an art thing. Is like you have to have like one memorable scene like per movie. With the first one we have like what Doomsday was falling half. That's the memorable thing of that movie. Now your scene is the memorable scene of Art 2, and I'd seen something the other day which I don't remember if it was a variable site, but they were thinking about Terrifier 3.
In the 2 parts even,
I'm curious to know what happens with that. So we'll see. Yeah, right. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for Damien at all right now.
Oh
yeah, and everyone involved. Honestly, it's amazing. Yeah.
When I see him next month, I'm going to bring it up and talk about it some. So
good. Yeah.
It should be fun. So
yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I met him at Spooky Empire last time, and Jenna was there from from the first Terrifier.
Yeah.
So
nice.
But yeah, everybody making their rounds at the conventions, and so
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, and then of course there'll be many more conventions happening next year that everyone will be attending, which will be fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Boom, if you got any more questions later.
But we briefly talked about this earlier about how, Art doesn't like to be called a mime. Do you think she would have survived if she wouldn't have called him a mime? No. Probably.
I think he was coming for her.
Yeah.
I think he, honestly, I think he was, everything he was doing was in mind of torturing Sienna, really.
Yeah.
So I think Allie and Brooke were doomed no matter what.
I thought it was funny they kind of threw that in, because I think when we interviewed David, I'd said something about a mime, and he didn't like that.
Oh, he hates it because he's not. Yeah, exactly. Because because mimes don't use props, of course. Mimes don't interact with real, tangible things.
So yeah, they must get that a lot, so they threw it into this movie.
Yeah, but yes, exactly. So I think that's really funny that line is in there. I loved that. Because that will get under the skin of that of that.
Oh, Art already did that to you, so you know.
Yep. Unfortunately. Yeah, but it's such a good silent acting performance though.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. It's like the expressions and the mannerisms, everything. It's just
Yeah, so good and not easy. Not like he does it so brilliantly.
Yeah. Yes, he does an amazing job.
then there was like that whole scene with Sienna. It's like, is this a Nightmare on Elm Street? Like it's causing like that was weird. Like I was confused by that. I'm like, okay, Art's coming in through the dreams now, or what's up with the fire?
Right.
The lady playing was a banjo. She's on fire.
Come on down to the Crown Cafe.
Yep. And she just keeps playing. She's like, da-da-da-da. This is
She's
fine.
she's on fire.
Yeah. It's like, this is fine.
I can't wait. I'm going to see that performed live next month. She's going to sing it for us.
Yeah.
It's going to be so funny.
Just without the fire.
Well, yeah, no fire. I'd be like, okay, everybody, bring out your lighters. Encore.
Everyone's just like, yeah, exactly. That would be amazing. I hope that happens.
I'll definitely have to record it, so I'll post it. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, please do. That's amazing.
You're lucky I snuck a smoke before it came on, so I got my lighter right here.
Someone comes in with a fire extinguisher. Praise everyone. All right, and that was our Terrifier panel. Thank you all. Thank you all so much.
Hey, did you see that Terrifier panel? It was on fire, literally.
Oh my god.
Let's see.
All
You know, Haunted by Horror.
Plays into his character.
Wait.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He really, because he uses his full body to communicate then, you know, he's communicating. That's amazing. I love it. I love that he's not as like just stoic and like stern, you know, as much of like a stone of a character. And I think that's also really intimidating when the character is just, you know, quiet, like, you know, when the characters are quiet and intense like that, but the way that he uses his body to communicate is on another level.
Did you watch before you got the script? Did you watch the first Terrifier, or did you watch it after, or just to get an idea what you were getting into?
Yeah, I watched it after I auditioned, and I waited. I had seen the trailer just to get a sense of what was happening, but I watched the actual movie after I auditioned, and honestly, like, I was a little bit like, whoa, like that. It was good. Like I was like, that was good. Like for a slasher movie, that was good. And there's something about it that I liked, like just the way, just Art as a character, but also like just the way that it was executed and everything like that. And even though like obviously the second film has more of a story and more of a story arc, but it just, there's something about the first film that made me, when I watched it, I was like, yeah, this is exciting. I would love to do this film. So that's when I watched it, and it was, I mean, I will say, after watching that hacksaw scene, that was the first thing I thought of after the film ended. I was like, ugh.
Like, gosh, I can imagine that happening to me. Oh yeah, you get a lot worse too. It just upped it.
Yeah.
Did you know that when you auditioned that you was gonna have that big of a death scene?
No, not when I was auditioning. It was when he offered me the role. He goes, so your death scene includes this and this and this, and it is supposed to be the biggest kill in this movie, And he was like, so I want to make sure that you're comfortable with that. And I was like, all right. I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Then you turn to page 73. What the fuck did I just sign on?
Yeah, I mean, when I
Too late,
finally,
you signed the contract. We're good.
yeah, when I finally read it, it was like, yikes. Because I can't remember how much of it changed, but not that much of it was different in what we actually filmed. So, I mean, he had it all written out. And I mean, the mom part, like that, that got me. But it also got me
makes it even more traumatizing than what it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Giving it out to the kids. Oh, it's a nice house, but it's all sticky.
Oh God, yeah. But yeah. But I mean, reading it, I was like, oh, this is intense, but also it made me excited to try something like that too. It was a fun challenge to be a part of, and yeah, it was good. We killed it.
Literally.
No pun intended. But yeah, but it was fun. Mm-hmm.
Just go through here.
You've also directed and written and produced and edited. Do you have any of those kind of projects in the works at the moment, or?
Yeah, I do actually. I took a bit of a break from producing because I was doing more acting. But now I do have a couple I have a couple scripts that I'm writing. I have a short film that I'm preparing to film. And then I'm also working with a friend to get another film produced as well. So they're in the works. We're working on some stuff. But yeah, so I'm hoping that, in the next, that I'll be able to share more about that soon. So yeah.
Some of the shorts that you've already done, is there like a site we can watch them, or YouTube, or where can we check out the other ones you've done in the past?
Yes, some of them are on YouTube. The latest, so I filmed they're all on YouTube actually, and then one I still have like privately on Vimeo because it's a pilot, and I haven't decided how I want to release it yet. It's a pilot, but I think I'll end up like releasing it publicly soon. So I'll probably post about that. But yeah.
Is the YouTube listed under your name or something different?
So I think they're on several. Honestly, I think they're on several channels.
Okay.
But
so I would post the links in the chat if.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see my period. Okay, so I did. I don't know. I mean, people who like bloody things. I did a series called Period Drama, which is a comedy sketch series about women in different time periods having their period. So it's like women menstruating through the ages, and it's a sketch comedy series. My friends and I did it for like no budget, and we just filmed it and like wrote it and filmed it, and had a lot of fun with it. But that, I think, yeah, we made a separate YouTube channel for Period Drama. So yeah, that's out there. Some people have found it and have mentioned it to me, and I'm like, yeah, apparently everything I do revolves around blood in some way.
So were those sketches released monthly?
They should have been, but we really, we should.
I had to. Come on.
That was perfect. Yeah, we should have released it just once a month. And then like, all right, period time.
Yeah. Exclamation period. Did you do one like during this witch trials or something? She's a
witch. We talk about it in the sketch. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We like mention it. It takes place in that time period, but yeah.
Okay. I'll have to check them out. So.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I can comment, but I don't think I can. But yeah. Period drama.
Oh yeah, in the chat or where I don't know if you can. Like, yeah, I think you can send like personal messages, but
yeah,
I would have to like add you as
Yeah, she wouldn't be able to post a link. I would have to
Yeah.
Right.
do it.
I think, yeah. I know. Okay. I'm like, I'll try to, I'll find it.
There's I did watch What We Found the other day. That was interesting. I know you didn't have a huge role, but you were the daughter of Elizabeth Mitchell. And how was it working with her?
Yeah. Sorry, I hope I didn't do anything. Okay.
No, you're good. You're still here.
But that was a lot of fun. That was well, she was great to work with also. She's so kind and also just incredibly talented. And before we did, I remember being a little like, I was a little nervous. I was like, I don't want her to think I'm like, amateur or like bad or anything. But before we did our final scene together, where she like comes into my bedroom and is like, and we have like this whole like deep conversation where she reveals a lot. And before we did that scene, she's like, okay, do you want to go rehearse it? Because she has a whole monologue in that scene.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, will you come? Well, can we rehearse this? And we like wandered in the house that we were filming in. We like wandered into we like went upstairs and like wandered into a bedroom and just kind of like, she just kind of like sat on the floor and like we just like ran through the scene and she ran through her monologue and I'm just sitting there with her like, and I was like, it was a nice moment and it was like one of those things where I was like, I felt, she really made me feel like her peer and we were scene partners, right?
Yeah.
So it was seeing her just sort of like plop down on the floor. She just like sat on the floor very like, okay, and then like ran through her monologue and we just ran through it all. And I don't know, it was nice. And it was a nice private moment between the two of us when we were rehearsing that scene together. So it was that was cool. Yeah, and she like gave me some, she just talked about how she got to where she is and things like that, and it was really just nice for her to have that conversation and to even, she was like, yeah, reach out, like she was just very nice, so it was a good experience.
Nice.
Is there anyone that you haven't worked with yet that you'd like to, if you had the chance?
Oh, there's so many people I would love to work with. I honestly, I still really want to work with Winona Ryder. I'm like, I need to play either like
her sister.
I was gonna say her sister. Yeah.
And when she said it, I was like, oh, you do have a little bit of a facial.
I want to play her sister so bad in something. And then, yeah, I would love to work with her. I would love to work with Julianne Moore. I really like Brie Larson a lot. I'd be curious to work with her. I would love to work with Bryan Cranston also, so badly. And
Breaking Badly, yes.
I loved that show.
That was a great show. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Gosh, yeah, there's so many people. I love Mary Louise Parker also. I love Melissa McCarthy. Gosh, I would love to work with her. I think she'd be so fun to work with. And she's from Illinois, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but gosh, there's Sandra Oh. I love Sandra Oh, and I would love to work with her as well. So yeah, there are so many people that I could.
You're like everybody. I don't care if you want to work with me. I'll work with you. Let's go.
Josh Hartnett. I feel like I want to work with Josh Hartnett. I feel like we have to.
Right. You can investigate your guys' family lines then.
You might play his sister on a show or cousin.
We should just exactly. We'll just play siblings.
Yeah, siblings. There you go.
We'll play like long lost cousins who find each other.
Yeah, there you go.
And then you go on a road trip together. It's a family comedy. find the other Hartnetts along the way, and have like different crazy family members. Like, oh, let's see who else is in this family.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah, but speaking of Illinois,
it can be called Follow Your Hartnett instead of Follow Your Heart.
But Chris Kattan just moved to Illinois, I believe, I want to say it's Peoria that he moved to
Hmm.
because I come from like the Peoria area.
Yeah. That's cool. Chris, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he found a woman down there that he really likes. I don't remember if they got married or not, but they at least lived together. So he moved. I'm pretty sure it's Peoria.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's either that or Bloomington, but I'm leaning towards Peoria.
Okay. Yeah.
We saw him at a comedy club in Bartonville, which is near the Peoria area. It's a smaller town.
Got it.
A long time ago. So I don't know if that's when he met her or not. But
who knows? Maybe.
That's interesting. And I also, the Cusacks live in Chicago, Joan and John Cusack. So I would actually be curious to like work with them as well. Oh, and like Lori Metcalf, who started at Steppenwolf in Chicago. There are so many like actors who have Chicago roots, and I think it would be really cool to collaborate with them at some point.
yeah.
If you see this, hello.
But even like not even just Chicago, but there's other places as well. Like well, it's not actors, but groups like Mudvayne comes from my area. A lot of people from like Peoria, Pekin, that's my town.
Yeah.
And I forget where else, but yeah, Mudvayne came from. No, it's like Peoria.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's so cool that Melissa McCarthy went to school with your dad's wife. That's so cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew she studied theater there, and I think Lori Metcalf did too in Illinois. I think that's why she came to Chicago after, before she went elsewhere. But but there are so many. I would love to work with Julia Gardner from Ozark.
Ozark? I heard that one.
What's Ozark? No.
Is that with Mark Paul Goosler from Saved by the Bell? Ozark.
Ozark. And like Florence Pugh would be fun too. But yeah, Julia Garner, huge fan of hers, and I think she'd be so fun to work with. Anyway, there are just so many people. Oh, and Juliette Binoche. I'm a big Juliette Binoche fan. I can be a French film nerd sometimes. So like I've become to really like Juliette Binoche, and even Kristen Stewart. She does some French. She works with some French directors now, and I think I don't know. She seems cool. Yeah. But
do you think your next movie that you would do would be another horror movie?
I mean, maybe. It kind of just depends on how that all pans out. But I'm like say like I would do another horror film. So it kind of just depends on on what kind of happens next. There is one that I know of that is trying to get made. So fingers crossed. And we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm keeping my mind open to everything and just seeing what fits and what works out in that way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good to know that there might be a possibility of another horror movie that we get to see you in.
Yeah, and that one would be, I think, a bit more art house, which will be interesting, like in a good way.
Art house with no Art the Clown, so just art house.
Unfortunately, I don't think Art the Clown would make an appearance in that one, but yeah.
That'd be funny if, like, just in the background, there's a painting or something, just like as a little Easter egg or something. You know?
That would be cool, actually.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, because probably people that watch those art house movies probably wouldn't even know who Art is, so they'd just think.
But that's the point, though. Who cares?
That's true.
It'd just be funny, though. I don't know.
It'd be pretty funny. Yeah. We just had a cardboard cutout of him.
Right.
with him in the glasses, just the cardboard cutout.
Yeah, it's just a funny clown.
Don't you like clowns? Aren't we fucking funny?
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. But yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
One of the last question. I don't know if Boom you got any more or not. But what's something that fans might not know about you, whether a talent, interest, hobbies, whatever you'd like to share?
Yeah. I'm like, what should I share with you all? I guess, okay, so one thing that I'm very passionate about is I'm actually I posted about this, but I'm very passionate about traveling. And I started a travel blog where it's called Women Around the World. And so I did that for myself just to get to know locals in places that I travel to by talking to women and then blog and like writing about it and kind of like interviewing them a little bit and like getting to know what they're doing in the place that they're from. I've interviewed people who are burlesque dancers. I've interviewed like women who own a woman who owns an art gallery in Nashville. And in New Orleans, I interviewed a voodoo priestess. That was cool. And she was great. And she was so cool to talk to and so interesting to speak with and learn from. And so, yeah, that's a big passion of mine is like traveling and experiencing the world as much as
one of your sorry I was gonna say, what's one of your favorite places you traveled to?
Yeah, so far I've really loved Portugal a lot. Lisbon is such a cool city, and I've always felt like it's a very friendly atmosphere as well, and it's also one of the more affordable places in Europe to travel to, especially in Western Europe and like that part of Europe particularly. But the culture there is super great, and it's the people were so friendly and the food was so good. It was just beautiful, and I felt good there. Like I got the vibe was good, so that really had a lot to do with it too. Yeah.
Makes me think of, I know it's a restaurant, but there's a place in my town, which we haven't lived only here for like 4 years, so I didn't know this before the other day, but it just turned 100 years old, and
Wow.
apparently it's a Chinese restaurant, and apparently it's like the second oldest in the United States. I'm trying to find the post now.
Oh,
I
wow.
want to say it's owned by a woman.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
If it was always owned by a woman, I don't know, but
Yeah.
trying to find the post thing. Yeah.
Was it a family-owned restaurant that they
Possibly. It says Cozy Inn, 100 years, oldest existent Chinese restaurant in Wisconsin, and second oldest in United States.
That's cool. That's so interesting.
I want to say it's owned by a woman. Now, if it's always been owned by one, I don't really know because I'm not really that familiar with the town. But
yeah,
I know you probably don't really do restaurants, but it's something to look into maybe.
No, but that's interesting. Yeah, I would, especially if it's like been in their family for
right. Yeah,
100 years. Yeah,
that's so interesting. Yeah. That's cool.
I saw that advertising because they were celebrating, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool," because we haven't been to it yet. And I was like, "Oh, wait, we're gonna have to try that one day." But
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'll have to go check that out.
I don't know if I ever heard that way, but who knows? I might try. That sounds interesting. Just be like, yeah, I've been at the second oldest Chinese, and I love Chinese food, so I got it.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, so, I do too. It's so good.
Got to get some sweet and sour chicken. That's like
yeah, obviously. No, I love Chinese food. So that's so cool, though. I have to look into that. I want to look into that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I just found out about it yesterday. It's like, oh, that's a little interesting little fact.
Definitely.
When you mentioned travel, I was like, oh, that might be something you might want to know.
Yeah, that's cool. I will definitely look into that. Thank you for sharing that. That's so interesting.
That's Janesville, Wisconsin. So it's really not far from you.
Good. Love that.
Probably only be that way if they ever do any conventions around there. Like, yeah, I'll stop and get some
we have
Chinese.
A convention center in town, but I never see anything going on there. What they do with it, I don't know. But we do have a convention center in town. So anybody ever watches this and want to hold a convention center in southern Wisconsin, go look it up. It might be cheap. Since I said, as far as I know, no, they never do anything with it. I mean, they probably do, but nothing that they advertise like on the community page.
Yeah, that's good to know. Family owned.
Haunted by Horror looked it up. Nice. Family owned, started by the Wong family in 1922.
Amazing. Very cool.
Cool.
Yeah, have to look into that.
So you have any appearances that you can let us know about in the near future?
Yeah, so my first one will be in January at Days of the Dead in Atlanta. So that's my first scheduled one right now. I think kind of starting in the new year, waiting for more people to get affiliated with the film will be nice. And we'll kind of see how we'll go from there. It'll be a new year.
Days of the Dead's fun. I was there a couple. Well, it's actually been longer than that now. I don't remember, but that's when I met Felissa for the first time, and Kane Hodder, Tony Todd, and it's fun. Days of the Dead's a good convention.
That's very cool. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah,
I might have to try to see who might be going to that. Oh, Doomsday wants to know about Spook. Oh, yeah, and I had mentioned that even.
Yeah, I don't think I can go that weekend. It's also my birthday. So.
Oh, okay. What is it? 17th is your birthday, or 18th?
Well, the 19th is.
Well, yeah, close enough though.
But I just don't. Well, I wasn't signed up to go, but I just kind of just don't know if I can actually go that weekend. So
well, enjoy your birthday though.
Thank you.
I want to eat cake. I don't want to sign on my birthday. Well, then against your birthday weekend, you might get many gifts. Hey, no, I'm just kidding.
Probably not, because there's not very many people know. You would have to be really dedicated to know somebody's birthday.
I know, that's true.
Yeah,
that's very true.
Doomsday said Scarefest is great in Kentucky if you ever go to Crypticon.
Oh, good to know. Okay, nice.
So
yeah, there's so many so we'll see. I'm starting with Days of the Dead, and then we're gonna go from there and see
Texas Frightmare is a good one too.
Ooh, that sounds fun. Yeah.
So, but I'm sure, you'll come across middies. So
yeah, absolutely. So it'll be good.
Yes. Maybe you even do a photo op with a scalp dead or something. Because they do costume photo ops,
Yeah.
Obviously not the full arm, whatever, but just to have the face.
Yeah.
That'd
be pretty funny.
We'll have you crawling in the photo ops.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh, that would be pretty funny, actually.
Then you'd have the blood and makeup in your hair all day, or however long that takes.
Yeah.
Well, the Soska twins, Jen and Sylvia, and even Danielle Harris, they've done bloody photo ops where they just all cover themselves in blood. And
nice, love that. Yeah, there's possibilities. We'll see. We'll see.
But who knows? Whatever comes up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If there's any other thing anything else in the room? Let's see, CryptCon. Yep, that's it there.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I covered all my questions pretty much. How about you, Boom?
Yeah.
It's been almost an hour and a half. It's been fun, of course. And like I said, time just flies.
Yes.
I know. Yeah. No, it was so fun to chat with you. Thank you so much for having me. This is great.
Thank you for coming. And whatever later on, if you do get that hormone, you're always welcome back. So
thank you.
Or who knows? Maybe we'll do a Terrifier watch or something, and live commentary it or something. So
that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the part where I was stupid and
fun.
But no, you were awesome, and congratulations on the film and everything, and the success and future success, and thanks again. So.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this is great. Thanks so much. Great to be here with you.
All right, have a great night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Are you ending or what are you doing? I thought he was going to end it, so I was like, what are you doing?
Actually, I still see her in the backstage, but you should be able to click the window. You should be able to click the window. I went ahead and removed you, but just to let you know, there should be like an arrow there, so you're good. But,
I see. Okay.
Bye. Bye. There she goes. She's not backstage anymore. She wanted to come back.
I was like, sit there for a minute. I was like, okay, are you ending the show or what's going on?
Like a David Howard Thornton. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
The Terrifier people are so great. I love that.
Yes.
I can't wait to see the third one. They should do like a little series of it. That'd be cool. or even a prequel. Or it's like, what is art? Well, actually, that's what is art? Well, art has been around for Art the Clown, not art. Yes, so let's see. Next week we got Kyle coming back from Sharkula and a bunch of other Polonia films, and also I still gotta watch his The Shackled Demon Project. I got a copy of that. The first film he did with a friend of his. So talk about that some and upcoming stuff and what's been going on since the last time we saw him, and pretty much everybody. Well, Polonia fans, we all seen Sharkula, so we can talk a little bit.
I haven't yet, but I will eventually.
Oh, you did? Oh, you didn't watch it yet?
I have an excuse to watch it now
Yes,
because I have not seen it yet.
you like sharks? Come on, Sharkula, the Shark Woman.
I know other things have came up, so I haven't got to watch it yet.
No problem, no problem. Yeah, yeah, just busting your balls. Hey, bust my balls, guy.
Art is an artist and a clown. Very true.
Exactly. Yes.
I was trying to see if I had Kyle's old notes, but I don't. But trying to remember things I asked him from before,
which wasn't much because it wasn't out, and like how long it was like almost a year we knew about it. Like, oh, I can't wait to see it. So, but yeah, it is on Tubi. Same thing with Return to Splatter Farm. Trying to think what else.
I remember asking him questions about that one, so I probably won't rewatch that one. I'll definitely watch Sharkula.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to see.
Yep.
Because I'll probably have to get caught up on one as well, because we'll have to, like, the week after that, I'll have to be, prepping to get ready to go down to Illinois for Thanksgiving. So, maybe I'll start prepping for Juan early too. I think that was his name, wasn't it?
Juan, yeah.
Okay. I think it was like, do I have that right?
Yes, it is Juan. Yeah, he was in Grave Encounters, Jennifer's Body, Riverdale, Narcos. I mean, he's done a whole bunch. Television, movies. So.
Then he said he was in Black Xmas, right?
Yep, he was in that. I'll have to look over it, but yeah. So he was actually the zombie and It Stains the Sands Red that was following her.
Great movie. I love that movie.
So I know you love your makeup questions for that, especially playing the zombie. Did you go to zombie school for that?
I think only The Walking Dead
Dead
really
people.
Man,
I wanted to. When I was at Walker Stalker Con, they were having people who wanted to be zombies in it, and I wanted to go up in there, and they're like, "Oh, so you're a resident of Georgia?" I'm like, "No," and they're like, "Yeah, only residents." I'm like, man, I wanted to be a zombie in The Walking Dead. That would have been fun.
To be one.
I'd die to die in a movie.
I would love to be a zombie.
Yeah.
I mean, I already go slow, so hey. So I lost my husband in the grocery store today. I was trying to keep up. He was like on a mission to go find something. I was in the aisle, like following behind him, and then he turned and I lost him. So I ended up going in a different section and shopping while I was waiting for him to find me. Oh, fuck you. He says I already walk like a zombie for the ones that did not hear. Technically, I kind of do because I got a limp because my leg's messed up, but it is what it is.
Here's what it is. Yep. I'm working overtime this week, so I'm probably gonna be getting in bed soon. Get up early yet again while I can get that overtime. So, trying to think if there's anything else. Just Kyle next week, Juan the next week, and then we'll see what we got coming for December. I'm hoping I've messaged some certain people from horror Christmas movies. I want to try to maybe get a Christmas theme going. So we'll see if any replies. Nothing to say yet, no replies, but just in case, but we'll see. So, but I mean, it's December. Come on, we got to have at least one Christmas horror movie. So.
Well, we'll have.
Juan was in Black Christmas, so
yeah, I was gonna say we'll have one, even though he's in Thanksgiving. But we'll be technically. Wouldn't it be like the day after? No, it's the day before Thanksgiving, isn't it? No, it's after. When the fuck is he?
He's the 29th, so it's like the end of the month. It's the last Saturday of November.
Right, I'm trying to think. So yeah, it's gonna technically be after Thanksgiving, so we are good to talk about Christmas.
So there we go. He's the first. He's the first Christmas actor we got. There we go. So actually, I already do got someone.
Yeah, it's like 2 days after Thanksgiving. So,
well, technically for Walmart, Christmas started in October. So, but
actually before that.
Yeah, before that, so end of September. Yeah, like before. I think we had Christmas stuff out before we had Halloween stuff. I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. But yeah, definitely.
It's like that when they did that parody of the Nightmare Before Christmas. Like, what's this? This color, and it is like, what the fuck is this? The fuck?
What do you want, Max? Don't come jumping up here. I gotta smoke.
Yeah, I'm gonna get ready, head to bed, get up about maybe 4:30 or 5, and like I'm scheduled at 6, but I've just been going in like half hour to an hour early and counting the phone, doing a phone audit, get that done while there's no customers. Man, freaking Wednesday, I got to be there at 4 in the morning for the event sales. So I'll actually be getting up probably around 3:00. So that'll be fun for the chaos. But I'm used to it. I've done it 6 times. So 6 times. Or was it 5 times or whatever? So, but all right. Well, thanks to everyone who was watching and listening, and we'll catch you next time with Kyle Rappaport. Have a good night.
Night.
Bye.